Slavery was officially abolished in New York on July 4th, 1827. And the black people of that day celebrated. It was a different type of celebration. It was a free slave paradox. A free slave paradox. How can a person be free and a slave? Stay with me and let me explain it, please.
We interrupt this broadcast to inform you the history you're about to hear is repeating itself today.
Slavery ended in New York on July 4th, 1827, but it wasn't immediate or simple. It was a gradual, complicated, and often cruel process. Matter of fact, the name of the act that freed the Black Americans in New York is the Gradual Emancipation Act of 1799. The Gradual Emancipation Act. Google that, please do. It declared that children born to enslaved women after July 4th, 1799 were legally free. Yay, that's awesome. However, and there's always that however, those children were forced to work without pay, that's slavery, for their mother's enslaver. They had to work until the age of 25 for women, until the age of 28 for men, or until July 4th of 1827, whichever came first. Gradual emancipation. This gave New York enslavers 28 years to prepare for a future without slavery. So the state gave these enslavers ample time to get it together. So we're going to get into the free slave paradox. See, enslaved and freed Black Americans expressed celebration and joy for the 4th of July and other holidays as a form of emotional and psychological therapy. It was therapy that allowed them to continue on. These acts of celebration were therapeutic displays, not signs of contentment with their oppression. Outsiders, people on the outside looking in, misunderstood these therapeutic acts as acceptance. In truth, they were strategies to preserve hope and sanity under brutal conditions. It allowed them to keep pushing on no matter how many times they was betrayed. And because of this free slave paradox, I'm able to do this today. So I'm extremely grateful for them. Free Black Americans were still at risk during this time. There was a man named Richard Riker, a New York judge. Google him, please. He led a group known as the Kidnapping Club. The Kidnapping Club. Google the Kidnapping Club. This group, with the help of law enforcement, abducted free Black people, including children walking to school, teenagers performing forced labor, slaving, and they falsely accused adults of being runaway slaves from down south. They kidnapped these people and they sold them into Southern slavery without any legal recourse. See the movie 12 Years a Slave. Now, before these victims were sent down south, they were held captive on an island that was owned by Judge Richard Riker. Yes, the same island that is now Rikers Island Prison. Please Google that. Research it all. Many free Black Americans fled New York to Canada. Most of these people who fled were children guided by teenagers traveling through the forest to get from New York to Canada. Though they was free on paper, they worked like slaves and they lived under the threat of kidnapping. Free slaves. Now, remember, this whole process, this gradual emancipation, started July 4th, 1799. And as July 4th, 1827 approached, many northern enslavers were still not ready to give up their enslaved laborers for whatever reasons. So what did they do? They sold them to Southern enslavers to cash out, to extract profit from them one last time. And this condemned many of these people who were scheduled to be freed, it condemned them to 36 more years of slavery until 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, or 38 years for those who were sent to Texas, where slavery lasted until Juneteenth, 1865. So when July 4th, 1827 came, yes, Black New Yorkers celebrated. They celebrated America's independence since 1776 because they built this nation. So of course they're going to celebrate that. But they also celebrated their own long-awaited, hard-won freedom. But the celebration wasn't a regular celebration. It was that free slave paradox. Outward celebration with full awareness that the people who had to enforce the law that set them free were the same people who were kidnapping them. So just like my ancestors, I too will be celebrating July 4th, but it will be that free slave paradox because we still in it. We still in it. New being 1619. We innovate or we dissipate. Peace.
Chains on my hands, but I smile in the sun. Heart heavy, but I laugh till the day's done. Feels full of sorrow, yet songs still rise. Humming hope beneath the whip skies. Free slave paradox, the weight and the wings, bound in the body, but the spirit still sings. Smiles on the surface, but the pain never stops. Living contradictions, free slave paradise.